What it will cost you to become her. The hidden price of visibility, sovereignty, and becoming the woman you were born to be. Before we begin, I want you to answer one question honestly. What if the life you desire requires the death of the version of you that keeps settling? Sacred pause. What if the woman you dream about becoming is standing on the other side of a decision you've been postponing? What if your next level isn't waiting on more healing, more certifications, more validation, or more permission? What if it's waiting on courage? Today's conversation is not about what you'll gain. It's about what becoming her will cost. And trust me, the price is worth every penny. Grand rising, wounds to stars, worldwide. Welcome back to the SHENIXPWR podcast, where women remember, rise, and reign. I am your host, Honor Parrish, founder and CEO of Shiro Inspires LLC, creator of SHENIXPWR, trailblazing Navy Shiro, womb conductress, transformational speaker, and sacred advocate for women, reclaiming their identity, voice, worth, visibility, leadership, and ultimately sovereignty. And today, we're discussing something nobody talks about. Everyone wants transformation. Everyone wants healing. Everyone wants purpose. Everyone wants abundance. Everyone wants freedom. But very few people discuss the invoice that arrives afterward. Because every evolution carries a cost. Every ascension demands an exchange, and every woman who becomes her highest self must eventually decide what she's willing to release to meet her. So let's talk about it. Nobody told me becoming would cost this much. Nobody told me healing would change my relationships. Nobody told me boundaries would reveal who benefited from my lack of them. Nobody told me self-love would make me less available for self-abandonment. Nobody told me authenticity would make some people uncomfortable. Nobody told me visibility would attract both admiration and criticism. Nobody told me sovereignty would require radical responsibility. Yet, here we are. Many women believe transformation is about addition, more confidence, more money, more opportunities, more visibility, more success. But transformation is often subtraction first. The old stories, the outdated identities, the people pleasing, the guilt, the performance, the shrinking, the survival mechanisms, the masks. Before the phoenix rises, the ashes must exist. The sacred pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what part of me knows it's time to evolve? And what am I afraid I might lose if I do? Pause again. No judgment. Acknowledge. Only truth. The six gates and their price. Let's walk through the six gates of SHENIXPWR, because every gate has an invitation and every gate has a cost. Gate 1, identity. To become her, you may have to release who everyone expects you to be: the daughter, the caretaker, the fixer, the rescuer, the strong friend, the silent achiever, the woman who never asks for help. Identity evolution often disappoints people who benefited from your previous role. Question: who would I be if I stopped performing and started embodying? Gate 2, voice. Your voice costs silence. Your truth costs comfort. Your expression costs approval from those who preferred your compliance. Many women don't fear speaking, they fear the consequences of being heard. Question: where am I still editing myself to remain acceptable? Mm. Gate 3, worth. Worth requires ending negotiations against yourself. No more discounting your value. No more explaining your worthiness. No more auditioning for spaces that refuse to honor your presence. Question: where am I still trying to earn what should simply be recognized? Gate 4, visibility. Visibility costs hiding. Visibility costs invisibility. Visibility costs perfectionism. Visibility costs waiting. Visibility costs one more certification. Visibility costs I'm not ready yet. Question: what dream is waiting for me to finally be seen? Gate 5, leadership. Leadership costs permission seeking. Leaders move before consensus arrives. Leaders often walk first. Leaders trust themselves enough to begin before certainty appears. Question: where am I waiting for someone else's approval to start? Gate 6, sovereignty. This is the highest price because sovereignty requires ownership. No more blaming, no more outsourcing power, no more waiting for rescue. Sovereignty is remembering I am the authority in my own life. Question: what changes when I fully accept my power? Dear inner Shiro, here's a sacred reflection. Perhaps the greatest tragedy is not losing people. The greatest tragedy is losing yourself, trying to keep them. Read that again. The greatest tragedy is losing yourself, trying to keep them. You heard it, you wrote it down, and you read it. Let that marinate. Some women have spent decades abandoning themselves to preserve relationships, shrinking, silencing, suppressing, settling, performing. not because they lacked greatness, but because they feared rejection. Yet the soul knows, the womb knows, the body knows when a season has ended, when an identity has expired, when a chapter is complete, and when a woman is ready to rise. The SHENIXPWR exchange. Everything valuable requires exchange. A seed exchanges darkness for growth. A butterfly exchanges the cocoon for flight. A phoenix exchanges ashes for ascension. And a woman exchanges survival for sovereignty. The irony is this: the things we fear losing are often the very things preventing us from becoming. Old narratives, old wounds, old limitations, old loyalties, old permissions, old identities. Maybe your next level isn't asking you to become more. Maybe it's asking you to carry less, less fear, less proving, less apologizing, less shrinking, and less survival. It's time for a sacred activation and declaring your power. Swiftly place your right hand over your heart and your left hand over your womb and repeat this after me. I honor every version of myself that brought me here. I release the need for universal approval. I trust the woman emerging within me. I am no longer available for self-abandonment. I choose authenticity over acceptance. I choose purpose over comfort. I choose visibility over hiding. I choose leadership over waiting. I choose sovereignty over survival. I remember, I rise, I reign. Sacred closing, transmission for your womb, your healing, your breakthrough, your independence, your royalty, your wisdom. Before we close out today, I want you to remember this. The universe is not asking you to become someone else. The universe is asking you to stop abandoning who you already are. Your next chapter isn't hiding from you. It is waiting for your agreement, waiting for your courage, waiting for your decision. And every day you choose yourself, you move closer to the woman you've always been. Here's the sacred call to awakening. If today's episode resonated with your spirit, I want you to share it with a woman who is standing at the edge of her next chapter. A woman who knows she is meant for more. A woman who is tired of surviving. A woman who is ready to become. Take a screenshot of this episode and tag me on social media using hashtags SHENIXPWR, SHENIXPWR in all caps. Hashtag remember, rise, reign. Hashtag become her. Hashtag sovereignty over survival. And if this podcast truly impacted your journey, Please leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube Music, or Amazon Music, because every review helps another woman discover the path back to herself. Until the next time, remember, the woman you seek is not ahead of you. She is already within you, waiting to be trusted, waiting to be chosen, waiting to rise. This is SHENIXPWR, where women don't merely heal. They remember, they rise, and they reign. Dismantle the tunnel. Become the light. Love, peace, and ashe.